Hello everyone, I'm Daz, and in this video I'm going to walk you through how to use Slider Revolution's Scroll Video add-on, which is a fantastic add-on that allows you to set video backgrounds that only play when your visitors scroll up or down on your site. Here we are on the main Slider Revolution dashboard. Just like with other Slider Revolution add-ons, you have to install the Scroll Video add-on before you can use it. To do that, click the Add-ons button. In the window that opens, you'll see all the add-ons that are available. Add-ons you haven't installed yet will be grayed out with a not installed flag visible in their top right corner. We're looking for the one titled Scroll Video. It's the one with the line drawn camera icon on the button. If you left click once on the Scroll Video button, you'll see the details related to the add-on appear on the right. The only requirement to use the add-on is to make sure you have the latest version of Slider Revolution installed. Click the Install Add-on button and the add-on will be installed into your WordPress plugins directory. It won't be activated just yet though. For that, first we need to check if any updates are needed. If you see a purple Update Now button under the requirements area in the details panel, click that to make sure everything is up to date. Now that that's done, we can go ahead and click the blue Activate Add-on button. You'll notice the Scroll Video add-on is now in color with a blue enabled flag in the top right corner. That shows us the add-on is now installed and active. We can close the add-ons dialog box now. Next, we need to open the module you want to use the Scroll Video add-on with in the module editor. Any module you want to use will work here, including new modules from templates or any existing module you might be currently working on. For the purpose of this video though, I'm going to create a new blank module from scratch by clicking on the New Blank Module button. When you start a new blank module, Slider Revolution gives you the option to go through a quick start guide that helps you choose the right settings for your module. If you're new to working with modules or you need help with configuring your new module, it's a good idea to click Start Guide here. But for this video, Slider Revolution's default settings will be just fine. So I'm going to click Quick Guide so we can go straight to the module editor. Now that we're in the module editor, you can see here we've defaulted into the Module General Options tab. If you're not seeing the same thing as I am here, just click on the gear icon on the top right sidebar area. It should be highlighted blue. From here, you can click Add-ons. In the window that opens, find the Scroll Video add-on that you activated earlier and left click on it. Once again, we get information about the add-on in the right sidebar. The final step is to click the blue Enable Add-on button. You'll see the blue enabled flag appear over the Scroll Video thumbnail. Close the add-ons window and you'll see the Module General Options tab has a new link to a subsection titled Scroll Video. Click on Scroll Video. Once you click on Scroll Video, you'll see the Scroll Video settings has a single option, Use Scroll Video Playback. It is currently set to off. The reason for this is the Scroll Video add-on takes full control of your module's background layer. Once it is toggled to on, you won't see the regular options you'd normally see for controlling your background layer. By defaulting Scroll Video Playback to off, you can choose to enable the add-on in your module without worrying about whether or not it will affect your background until you choose for it to do so. But for this video, we obviously want to use the add-on. To do that, click the off button to toggle it to on. You can click the on button again to toggle it back off at any time. Now that we have it on, you'll notice a bunch of settings have appeared. Before we look at those though, if I quickly click on the Slide Options tab, you'll see under the background subsection's source panel, there's a message saying Scroll Video is active. This is what I was referring to earlier when I said the Scroll Video add-on takes full control of the background layer. Just remember, once the Scroll Video add-on is switched on, your background layer settings are then controlled from within the Scroll Video settings in the Module General Options tab. Just click the gear icon to go back there. We'll talk about these settings in a moment, but first we need to pick a video to work with. You can either select a video from your own videos in your WordPress's media library, or you can click the object library and choose one from the Slider Revolution collection. So from the Slider Revolution collection, I'm going to pick a video. I'll click on the people video. Depending on how large your chosen video file size is, you may have to wait a moment while the video is imported into your module. Once done, you'll see the video appear in the scroll video settings panel right here. If you don't see it appear, check that you're not running any ad blocking software in your browser, as ad blockers can sometimes prevent videos from displaying here. If you are running an ad blocker, you'll want to disable it for the website you're working on just to be sure. You can see here that we have 5 specific settings that we can adjust: start time, end time, frames per second, quality, and target size. Below those, you'll see a pink box containing information. It shows you the resolution of your chosen video, which in my case is 1920 by 1080 pixels. Beneath the resolution, it reads no frames generated yet, and again in my specific case, it reads approximately 14 frames to be generated. The way the scroll video add-on works is by converting your chosen video into a bunch of different images referred to as frames. It displays those images or frames one by one as a visitor scrolls down or up on your website, giving them the illusion that they are interacting with a video instead of static images. For those frames to display, you first have to generate them, which is done by clicking the Generate Frames button. But unless your default settings are already ideal, you'll want to modify your settings before you click the Generate Frames button. You can see that the start time for my video is currently set to 0, and the end time is currently set to 13.64 seconds, or 14 seconds if we round that up. You can also see in the frames per second field that it is set to 1 FPS, which means only 1 frame per second of video will be generated. A typical video usually has around 25 frames, 30 sometimes, or even as many as 60 to create a smooth video scene. If I use these default settings to generate my scroll video, I'll end up with about 14 images only, which will result in video playback that isn't quite as smooth. But let's do that and take a look. So without changing anything, I'll click the Generate Frames button. The scroll video add-on will then save out each frame as an image. This process will take a little while if your video is a long one, but the video I'm using here is short, so it's pretty quick. Now that that's done, if I click Preview, you can see the result when I scroll. Here I'm scrolling with the side scroll bar. As you can see, it's quite choppy. If I scroll with my middle mouse button, it's a little smoother, but still pretty choppy. This is quite a cool effect and is obviously great for saving on bandwidth and load time, as less images are needed to be loaded. But if a smoother video playback is what you're shooting for, you'll want to make some changes. Let's close the preview by pressing the X button in the top right corner. You'll notice thumbnails for the images that have been generated are now in the scroll video settings panel. There are also some new settings that weren't there before. We'll come back to those in a moment though. For now, let's click the Delete Frames Get New Video button so that we can start again. In the window that pops up, click Delete Frames. You'll notice the start time and end time fields are the actual start and end times of your chosen video. The start time corresponds with the first circle marker at the start of the blue duration bar shown under the video image. The end time corresponds with the second circle. You can leave those by default if you intend to use your whole video, or you can adjust the start time and end time so that only a portion of your video will be used just by dragging the circles left or right. Alternatively, you can manually type the start time and end time in the fields shown. The values are in seconds. If I want the video to start from the 4-second mark, I would type 4 in the start time field. From there, I can press Tab and it will automatically take me to the end time field. If I want the video to end at the 12-second mark, I can simply type 12 into the end time field. Notice that in our pink information box, it now tells us the number of frames to be generated has dropped from 14 to 8. This is because we've selected only 8 seconds of video, while the frames per second to generate is set to 1 by default. But we know 1 frame per second can be a bit choppy, so to get a smoother playback, you might want to increase the number of frames per second that are to be generated. Bear in mind that you'll want to try and strike a balance between good quality and good performance. You'll probably want your video to be as smooth and high quality as possible, but you don't want the combined file size of all of your image frames to get too large, as this will slow down performance. Remember, your visitors will have to load all of these images to see the scroll video effect. A typical movie runs smoothly at about 25 frames per second, so let's choose that setting for now. Instantly you can see that's going to generate 200 image frames for just an 8-second clip. Your visitors will have to load all of those images to see the video play properly, even more if you have a longer clip. That might be overkill, especially if your video is longer than 8 seconds. Fortunately, a lower frame rate can still be smooth to the human eye, so let's try a lower frame rate. Let's go for 10 frames per second. Now we only have 80 image frames to be generated. Just know that your aim is to try and find a good balance between loading performance and smooth video playback, so it's always good to start with the lowest number of frames per second and work up from there. The next setting to consider is the quality setting. If you click the drop-down arrow here, you can see the quality range is a set of numbers sandwiched between bad quality at the bottom and best quality at the top. The default suggested quality is right in the middle. The reason 0.5 is the suggested setting is because it's the best setting for balancing quality and performance. Bear in mind that the quality setting you choose here is applied to every frame image that gets generated. A lower setting will increase performance, but the lower you go, the more you'll notice artifacts and blurring in your video. On the flip side, a setting higher than 0.5 will give you significantly larger file sizes, even though most people will barely notice the quality difference. So it is highly recommended you stick with the suggested setting of 0.5 here. The final setting to consider is the target size. Click on the down arrow to make a selection from a wide range of possible resolutions. The default is 720p, but you can go as high as 2160p, also known as 4K. In this example, our original video is 1080p, but I'm going to stick with 720p to keep the file size of our images low. Once you've made your settings selections, click Generate Frames. If you have a lot of frames to process, it might take some time. Here we have 81 image frames to be produced, so it's going to take a minute or so. If you feel it is taking too long, you may wish to reconsider your settings to improve performance, in which case, just click Cancel. I'm going to do that now. You'll see some image frames will already have been generated. Just delete them by clicking the Delete Frames, Get New Video button. Then click Delete Frames. In this case, to reduce our file size, I'm going to drop our frames per second down to 5. And then I'm going to click Generate Frames once again. This time the process is going to go a little faster. Remember, each of these frames is an image being created from the selected video. It's a little like rendering a video. We just have to be patient and let the process run its course. Once completed, click the Preview button to see the result of our newly generated scroll video. Here I'm scrolling up and down to see it in action. Also take notice of the 4 screen icons here in the top left. These give you the chance to see how your scroll video will look on 4 different screen sizes, which helps you check responsiveness and gives you a feel for how others will see your video on their devices. Let's say we're happy with that and can close the preview window. As we briefly saw earlier, now that we've generated our scroll video, you can see 4 new configuration settings in the scroll video settings panel, under a new pink information box that is telling us the basic settings details of the scroll video we just generated. The first setting is the Keep Spinner During Load setting. Toggling this to on will put a loading spinner over the frame images until they are fully loaded, letting you and your visitors know something is loading. Upon setting this to on, you'll notice the pop-up, Please enable spinner in global settings. To do that, under Module General Options, click on Spinner. Then, under the spinner settings, you'll see in the drop-down menu for the spinner, you've got various options numbered 0 to 15. Picking one will give you a preview of what the spinner will look like. You can also change various settings relating to the spinner here, including the color. If your scroll video is short, like the one we've made in this tutorial video, you'll probably never see the spinner in action. But if your video is long, it's a handy thing to show your visitors so they know there's something to wait for. Okay, let's click the scroll video button again to go back to the scroll video settings. The next setting is the block scroll during load setting. If you toggle this to on, your visitors won't be able to use their mouse wheel to scroll down the web page until your scroll video has fully loaded, though they will still be able to scroll using the web browser's scroll bar if they want to. Blocking scrolling during load only disables the mouse scroll wheel until your video has loaded, but it's a good setting to use if your video is long and you really want your viewers to wait for it to load so that they see it. If you switch this to on though, make sure you also have the keep spinner during load setting on as well. That way when your visitors can't scroll, they'll see the loading spinner and know that there's a reason for that. The next two settings are start offset and end offset. Start offset lets you start your scroll video playing partway through. A higher value will start the video from a point further in from the start time you picked before you generated your image frames. If you're already happy with your original start time, just leave it at 0. End offset controls how much of the scroll video must have been played before the web page begins to scroll down. The lower the value you have here, the earlier the web page will start to scroll down as the video nears its end. The higher the value, the later the web page will start to scroll as the video nears its end. This is a little easier to understand by seeing the results of these settings in action. Here we have an example of our scroll video where we have set end offset to 0. Notice as we scroll down, our video disappears off screen just as it completes playback. Here we have set the end offset to 500. As I scroll down, you'll notice the page only begins to move once the video is nearing the end. Further, a large section of the video remains visible even once it has finished playback. To put this simply, setting a higher value for your end offset helps to guarantee that your visitors will see the video in its entirety before they can scroll down the rest of the page. And that's all you need to know to start making use of the Scroll Video add-on. Just remember, you can freely experiment over and over with different settings, and you can preview the changes you make at any time using the preview button. And once you're happy with your scroll video, you can add it to any WordPress blog or page using WordPress's block adding system. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
Start your Slider Revolution 6 experience now, the world's most powerful WordPress builder.